All right, gonna do a recording here of a rent game that I played. I just hit plat 4 before this, so I was thinking I could do something fun because I can't really downrank. Looking at the different options here, I choose the one with the flag that you place on the field that kind of gives your units a buff that are around the flag. I just kind of did it to grief the other players because they all were picking other ones. So I didn't really care that much. Let's see what ended up getting picked here. I think this is one you get. Yeah, you get a random item every round. Yeah, I look over here. Yeah, pop off a random item every round. So that's a little bit more one of the more flexible portals. Nothing doesn't really lock you into any particular builds or bias anything that I'm aware of. Get a reforger and some gold as my start. And let's see what we got here. Of course, the first step is just to buy some units that will make a board. So we go ahead here into the first shop, couple chins. Usually a good idea to pick up your pairs, of course. And then I have enough gold, just buy out the rest of the shop as well. Standard opener, nothing too exciting at this point. Just killing the minions. If I was smart, I could probably do some scouting to see what other people were holding, but yeah, didn't do that. Got a tier and a belt. Not a ton of direction. Could be a frontline redemption. All right, first shop, Ionia. Aurelia and Jin have been strong units throughout the entire set. Great opening units to hold. Of course, you want to hold other Ionias with it. But I don't have any of those. I'm just trying to figure out what are my options here. So I got like a Trist reroll package out here on the left. If I want to do a Trist reroll, and then I'm looking over here on the right. I'm like, well, I got some Demacia Evoker units on the right over here. Not that that's a good opener, but I mean, that's what I have in my shop. So I'm just trying to figure out in my mind what I could play from this position. So Demacia, Evoker on the right, Trist reroll on the left. And then on the board I have Jin, Ionia. All right, so what do we got here? I don't really know these I've never played Scrappy Inventions or Medium End Shopping, so I just reroll them because I don't really know what they do. I'm looking at Sorcerer Crest. Is anyone else playing Sorcerers? I did see one person with a 2-star Malzahar. A couple other principals, Bruisers and Voids, so they might be playing Sorcerers. So I'm like, I'll just take Buried Treasures, generic, figure it out from there. I didn't have any Sorcerer units at the time, so it wasn't like an incentive for me to play Sorcerers. All right, so what's my strongest board here? Kind of looking around, I got an Infinity Edge for my Jin. I can make a Redemption for my Aurelia. And that's still not a very strong board, no synergies. Like, what else can I put on this board? I'm like, well, what are my, I have no synergies. So what are my individually strongest units? I guess Soraka. I probably should have played Soraka plus the other Invoker that I just sold, but I didn't have enough time to think through all my options. So I just put in a random Vi because she's a decent frontliner. So no synergies activated, but pretty strong individual units on my board. Again, no 2-stars. Kind of filling up my bench with potential options. I got some Bastions. Because Targon has a Bastion. I think, okay, I could play Bastion front 9. Close fight. Didn't kill that unit. Would have been happy if I killed that unit. I'm like, all right, I think I'm still have the option to play Trist reroll, although. Okay, well, Jin 2-star, all right, and I get a Karma. Okay, I'm like, okay, there we got Invoker, we got Ionia. This is basically everything I need for a decent opener. So I got slam some more items here, a couple vests, skill, get the random item on her. So I'm thinking like, well, let's make sure that Jin is the last one getting targeted. So I'll just move some of the other units up one row just so, if something does get to the back line, Jin will be the last one alive. And just kind of looking through what else I can pick up. I got a second Soraka in my shop and another Galio, so I should at least consider picking those up. See what I do here. Again, I lost the first round, so I don't really need like a win streak or anything, but wins are always good. So this guy has a couple upgrades, a couple challengers, some items slammed, but my board with the added Karma on my board, it's quite a bit stronger. Invoker plus Ionia made my board quite a bit stronger than it previously was. Definitely should pick up the second Soraka, yeah. All right, so I got some Bastions, I got some Invokers. No clear long-term direction yet, but I got a Jin 2. It's a good early game unit. I think Soraka is a good early game unit too. That's just why I sort of prioritized her early. Just when the fights are really low and people don't do much damage, the healing can make a big difference. So here's sort of the first big decision point from the game. So I got components for a Last Whisper here. And Last Whisper on Jin is good, But Last Whisper is not really in the meta right now anymore for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. Like I don't follow all the streamers, but like in the previous patch, I would have just slammed Last Whisper here and been happy with it. Pretty flexible into Gunners or Deadeyes or even Yasuo. And it's definitely a way to play for tempo here. But I'm like, you know what? I don't really have other. Well, I mean, I don't know. It probably should have been a slam if I really wanted to win streak. But again, when I have a 1-win, my board doesn't have a ton of upgrades. And the guy I'm playing against, obviously I didn't need to slam anything. Once I saw his board, I was like, okay, obviously I don't need to slam anything here. Could hold a Galio pair, but it would cost me econ, so I decided, Galio's not a very good unit right now. He's Invoker and Demacia, but he's not a very good tank, so I'm not really prioritizing him. That's why I don't pick up the pair of him, even though that would give me the most potential to make a strong board. All right, first carousel, what do I need? Again, I kind of make a decision point. I kind of want to lean into AP here, so I'm thinking like tier can be good on Kaisa if I want to just play Ionia challengers, and it also lets me play more of an AP route. So I'm thinking the tier for the Shiv here is just the most flexible, I think, given that I don't know what I'm going to play long term, and it can go into both challengers, Kaisa, and it could any AP comp likes the shred, obviously. So I think it's just the most flexible item for me at this point, even though it doesn't do anything on Jin, and he's my best unit at the moment. But again, Deadeye is kind of weird right now. I guess you can play Akshan, but I don't have any Shurima units, so I'm not really leaning towards that. All right, just kind of organize my units again so that my units with items hopefully will get targeted last. I'm gonna go ahead and put items on. Oh, see, I was trying to decide here, should I put items on Karma or Soraka? I was thinking the Shiv is a better support item. So my long-term goal, I was thinking like, well, maybe I'll 3-star Soraka. And I don't really, or sorry, Karma. I don't really want the Shiv on her if I'm going to 3-star her late game. It's an option. I'm leaving myself open to the option of 3-starring Karma. So I put the Shiv on Soraka just because she's more of a support unit. That's what I was thinking with that. Even though she doesn't have any of her synergy. I guess she doesn't have like the Ionia buff, basically, is what I'm thinking. But she's still a really good early game unit. And I have 2 of her, so there's a good chance that I'll 2-star her before the Karma. So I think she's a good item holder for now. And again, really close fight here. It's down to the 1-star Soraka versus the 2-star Miles with 3 items. And Soraka wins. Like I said, Soraka's just a really good early game unit. And yeah. So looking through, how can I upgrade my board? Just play strongest board. I'm like, get this freaking Galio off my board. He's just not very good. I mean, Targan is not huge at this point, but you know, everything bit helps. And I think Tarek 1's a little stronger than Galio 1. So I'll go ahead and put him on the board. Like I said, does put in Targan. Don't have a ton of healing right now, but I have Redemption. I have Soraka, and I guess I got a Bloodthirster too, which is healing. Although it's not going to do a lot of healing on an Aurelia with no challengers or anything. Selling up my econ here, buying some Ionia units. Pretty standard stuff at this point. This person's playing Piltover, so no chance I'm going to lose this fight. Even though my front line's a little sketchy. 1-star Aurelia, 1-star Tarek. Not the strongest front line. Tarek is a little weird. I tried playing him on stream with Solo the other day, and I 3-starred him, but he doesn't really do anything as 3-star. I kind of like learned my lesson from that previous game that I don't really care about Tarek. Like, he's fine at 2-star on the board, but I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to prioritize 3-starring him throughout the game. So here, doing a little scouting, trying to see, like, is Ionia Challengers going to be open? And I'm looking at, like, there's a lot of people playing Ionia Challengers. So I'm thinking, like, okay, let's just lean into this Karma. Like, if everyone else is going to pick up the Kaisas, you know, I don't want to contest, like, literally 3 other players. So I'm like, all right, I'm really thinking I'm going to lean into this Invoker route at this point. I don't know how good, I mean, it's not like a comp I play a ton, so I don't know how good it really is, but, like, you know, I have the opener for it. It's not usually contested. I didn't see anyone else contesting it in my brief look, although people can move into it, obviously. But again, just holding Ionia and Invokers at this point. Didn't make gold. I could have made gold here. Probably should have in retrospect, but I want to play strongest board with my win streak. I was prioritizing my win streak here, so like I really want to make sure I have upgraded units. That's why I held these pairs and stuff. Here, I got some more items. So here I was debating, do I really want to put this on Soraka? I'm gonna have to sell her again. My plan is to play Karma, right? Like, do I really want to put this Jewel Gauntlet on Soraka? But like, she is my upgrade unit right now, so I'm just gonna put items on her. Is there anything else I can do to make this board stronger? Not really. I mean, the synergies are good. I think my best units on the board. Oh, I level here. Okay, yeah, I leveled a Pride Deck win streak and just put a random set just because he's a decent frontliner. I think he's better than Galio 1. I think set 1 with Ionia is better than Galio 1, even though Galio's an invoker. It doesn't add anything. I already have two invokers in, so. Random set 1. Gonna be a close fight, looks like. He's, again, here's a person playing Ionia Spat Challengers, so this is the kind of guy I didn't want to contest by making a Challenger Kaisa board. This is why I kind of... And here I make Econ. Again, like I said before, Galio, I do want Galio on a 6 invoker board, but he's just not a good unit until you have like the rest of that put together. So I'm just hoping I'll get him back later. He's just kind of a trade bot. He's not important. Endless Horrors, nope. Giant Grab Bag, I guess 3 components is always good. Could have made that. Freaky Friday, I don't have a good board for Infinity Force. It doesn't, like most of the invokers don't use those stats very well. Something like Double Trouble Karma, I guess that could work. I'm like, my other options aren't great. If I reroll this and I don't get something good, I'm kind of stuck. So I'm like, all right, well, Double Trouble Karma is my plan now. Got another invoker, got another Targon. So here I put Bastion in. I'm like, well, what does Bastion give? Plus 20 armor, plus 20 magic resist. Wait, what does Double Trouble give? I have two. What's the name of this unit? Yeah, that guy. I forget his name off the top of my head. But I'm like, wait, this gives 44 armor and magic resist. That's Tarek. That's more than Bastion. Screw Bastion. I'm just gonna play Double Trouble. Double Trouble Tarek. Let's go. At this point, I probably should have sold the Aurelia and played the set instead. Aurelia 1 with no challengers is worse, I think, than set 1. But I didn't see that at the time. Here's the Triss reroller. Of course, we all know and love Triss reroll. He looks like he just kind of spiked. And he doesn't have 4-star Triss, but he has a 3-star Triss, 3-star Viego. So he's pretty well upgraded. 2-star Jinx already, too. Pretty strong board. But look at this, man. Soraka just doing work. Who did the most damage this fight? Yeah, Soraka over Jhin. I mean, he should have 3 items. But Jhin did pretty good, too, for no items. You can't count out Jhin early game. He's a good early game unit. Like I said, Galio came back. So I'm like, okay, let's put this on here or Aurelia. I'm like, wait, why is Aurelia still on my board? She doesn't really do anything here. I'm like, let's put these items on Tarek. He's kind of like my... I mean, he's got Double Trouble bonus in. He's a higher cost unit. Yeah, let's put items on Tarek instead. Like I said, I already have another Ionia unit, so let's just play this guy instead for Ionia bonus. Boom, look at that. 3-item Tarek. Let's go. Tarek won, but you know, it's only stage 3-3. Putting my invokers I want to hold on the right, just hold random other stuff on the left. Another like just randomly good unit, Nasus. He's not a lot of synergies on my board. I guess he does put Juggernaut in. He's just a good unit, good frontline unit on his own. So considering him to put in when I have an extra slot. Easily win that fight against Soraka, doing good, and Jhin doing good with no items. Jhin will fall off pretty quickly with no items. I mean, I don't have Deadeye, no items. Pretty soon he's going to fall off here, but he's still doing pretty decent work at this point in the game. All right, what items do I need? AP items for Karma, sort of the plan. Of course, I'm last pick, so I kind of get whatever's left over. Kind of have my frontline items kind of built already, so yeah, more. Well, I guess I have 2 of each. I have 2 backline and 2 frontline items. I really could pick up anything. Could consider the cloak. I could make a Dragon's Claw because I do have a Chain Vest. Chain Vest plus Dragon Claw, pretty good frontline pairing. But I guess I'd take the tier, a little bit more flexible. Cloak doesn't really do anything other than Dragon's Claw. I already have Shred with the Static Shiv, so there's really nothing else I could do with Cloak. I guess I could play the Chalice, but I gotta prioritize actually building items for my carries rather than building Chalices at this point. All right, just kind of seeing out what's my strongest board here. I got a couple options on my bench. I got like this Nasus. Could try to play another Bastion. I just level up, put in Juggernaut, put in, like I said, Nasus is just a good unit on his own. Put him next to the Redemption. He'll tank quite a bit. Got 2 Juggernaut in. Again, it's all 1-star, but they are good units in general, and Tarek has Double Trouble bonus, so he's a little stronger than normal. Just playing strongest board. Here's one of the Kaisa players. Again, I think there was multiple people looking to play challengers when I scouted earlier, which is why I moved out of it. I didn't really move out of it. I just sort of pivoted my options away from it. So, yeah, got another win. Again, Soraka, really good early game unit. She's just kind of carrying my team. It's sort of a team effort. She's not like doing an amazing job on her own. Well, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here. 2 Kaisas, double trouble. Maybe I will pivot back into Challenger. Like, this is sort of a WTF moment. I'm like, okay, so I want to get Challenger in. I want to get double trouble in. I still don't have Challenger in yet, but luckily I have this 1-star Aurelia that I realized, like, oh, that's Challenger. Okay, Jin, you've served your purpose. You were a great early game unit with no items. You killed some stuff, but I think at this point your time is up. Now, Sis, I don't really need you. You were just holding the fort down for a while. You're not like part of my long-term plan here. So how good is Kaisa double trouble? We'll find out. Looks like it's gonna be a close fight here. Another gunner. This is the Piltover player. Looks like they cashed out a 15 power cash out on their Dino. Oof, gonna be close. Still quite a few units left on their team. I still have 2 Kaisas though with double trouble. And looks like plus the Soraka was enough. And actually Kaisa did the most there. So she has now passed Soraka. So I'm at an inflection point here. I can either commit to invokers or I can sort of pivot into these Kaisas that I have. Don't have to make the decision yet because it's just a minion round, but I'm going to put my invokers for now and just hold the Kaisas while I think about it. Because this is the board I was planning to play. Kaisa was just tempting me. It's going to be hard to 3-star Kaisa though, so like double trouble, it's not as good when you can't 3-star one of the copies, get the free copies. So I'm like, okay, you know, let's think about it, but I think in the end I decided to stick with Invoker. Like, oh, more Invokers. Oh, Invoker. So I thought a little bit here. I'm like, oh, Ionia Emblem. The option is still there. Ionia Kaisa. I'm like, nah. Too many people playing it. Let's go Invokers all in. So now I'm basically done with the Kaisa thought. She helped me for 1 round. That was good enough. Ooh, an Ari. Now, Ari is a good holder of a Invoker emblem. 6 Invoker Ari. That's pretty damn good. Just put this random Hodge from the shadow item, whatever it's called, on her. So I'm still thinking here. I don't want to sell my Invokers. I think I'm done with the Kaisas. I'm like, yeah, let's just get rid of that. It's just confusing me at this point. Didn't slam any items because I was too busy thinking about my unit comps. So I'm probably a little weaker just because I haven't slammed any items here. I'm not sure what items I would slam. So this is a bit of a... I've been in first the whole game, so I've been getting kind of the last pick on items. So if anything... look how close this fight is. If that Jin hadn't killed my Soraka there, I think I would have won. But like, can Ari kill Jin? No, she cannot. I was a little bit sad about that. I thought like could have won that one. All right, so what's my last pick here? I don't really need well-earned comforts, I don't think. I was trying to decide between Harm Assist, Cyber Leech, and Distancing. So Invokers gives you a lot of mana, so I was thinking Social Distancing would actually go pretty well because I'm going to cast a lot. And this gives me more AP, so I thought like there's some decent synergy there. Oh, the frontline one would have been good too. I do need better frontline. All right, so now I have a little bit of time to think. What can I do with these items? I'm like, I already have a Shiv. Actually, I'm rolling a little bit first, I guess, here. Need to get a few upgrades here. Do I keep rolling? Doesn't look like I'm rolling. I'll do a little more rolling. Again, my plan is to double trouble Karma, so I want to move these items to Karma eventually. So I'm like, okay, back up Soraka. Then I can move the JG. Well, at least move the JG to Karma eventually. Oh, there we go. Just in time. 6th Invoker. Perfect. I'm like, what do I do with these items? I already have Shiv. I guess Hodge. So again, my plan here is to sell Soraka as I'm starting to move my carry items over to Karma. The JG plus Hodge on Karma will be really good once I move it over. That's my plan, at least. It would have been better this round on Soraka because she has the JG, but my plan is to move it. And again, a pretty close fight. Azir won, man. Oh, he has Nasus. No, he does have Jarvan. He has Jarvan too, not Nasus too. So I'm just self-recon again. I don't really prioritize Galio or Taric at all. Like I don't really care about those units. They're just straight bots. So I'm not worried about 3-starring them, even though I do have double trouble. I really only care about Karma and the other invokers. So here, what do? I'm moving items from... Again, I don't care about Taric. I've learned my lesson. He's not a very good unit. But Shen, on the other hand, is a great unit. So let's go ahead and put items on him instead. And now this lets me play Double Trouble Karma. Or, yeah, Double Trouble Soraka, I mean. Sorry. So I got 2 Sorakas, get the Double Trouble. I haven't been getting much Double Trouble benefit throughout this entire game. I had those 2 1-star Tarics for a while, but not making the best use of Double Trouble so far. But yeah, now I have 2 Sorakas. So this is a pretty good board for this part of stage 4, I think. Like 6 Invoker, 3 Ionia, Shen's holding my items. So and I have this random Ionia, or sorry, Invoker Aurelia, or what's the caster one, the mage. I don't know all the unit names very well, sorry. So pretty good board. Looking at, again, I get last pick again, so my items are a little grief this game. I've been kind of having to make do with what I can on items. Definitely not best in slot for most of my stuff here. There's no real units that I need. There's no cool 5 costs for me. I don't really need more frontline items. None of these really go well with what I have. I have a chain and a bow. Can't really make anything with those, so I just take the rod. I already have JG. I don't really need to make another JG for the crit item. Could have made Shroud. Shroud's always good. That might have been the right pick. I don't know. All right, got a roll here. I mean, I'm playing Double Trouble Karma. At least that's the plan. I need some karmas. Just rolling kind of slowly. It's not a comp I'm familiar with, so I'm just kind of rolling slowly to make sure I'm not missing the stuff. Picking up Invokers. That is a nice little upgrade for my front line. Do I want to stop here? Nope, keep going. Ooh, look at this. Lucky Rise. So that's an Invoker. I'm like, okay, this is the Tornado Rise. I like the Tornado Rise. Let's get him on the board. I think it's better than, well, maybe not better than Karma with an item. I just lost Ionia. So that was probably the wrong unit to take out. I was considering selling her, but I was like, wait a minute, I'm trying to play Double Trouble Karma. I can't sell her. I'll just sell the other unit. Again, Galio, whatever, I don't care about you. Get off. I can make Econ, I'm just going to sell him. So I didn't realize that this Rise actually spawns treasure chests as well as the Tornado. I didn't realize there were treasure chests up there. I could have picked those up and held the Galios. But I've never really played this, so I didn't really realize that at the time. But I think I realized that right at the end there, I saw those treasure chests. I'm like, wait a minute, are those my treasure chests? So I tried to go pick them up, and they were already gone. But here they are. I'm like, oh, whoa, treasure chests. Okay. I have seen it on other people's boards. I recognized it after the fact. That like, oh, that's what that Rise does. It spawns treasure chests. I'm just rolling. Oh, another Ari. Kind of a bait here on level 7. I mean, 1% chance. Oh, another Rise. It's really expensive to hold these because what are the chances I'm going to 2-star them at level 7? Pretty low, but you know, you got to at least play to your odds. I roll all the way down, don't hit anything. Oh, there's some stuff here. I should get this back in. Yeah, I'm like, oh, well, rest in peace, Double Trouble value. Like, I'm back to having 0 Double Trouble value. My Prismatic is dead at this point. But I think this is still stronger. I mean, 7 Invokers, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're all getting the mana benefit from it, so it doesn't matter that there's 7 of them. It doesn't like hurt me or anything. There goes that Tornado in the back. But unfortunately, it looks like this Tris player is mostly spiked. They got 3 items, 4-star Tristana. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what's going on with my board here. I'm like, oh wait, do I need to lock this? I'm like, okay, I got to lock it. I got to pick up whatever upgrades I can at this point. Again, I'm not super familiar with this comp, so if I had been fast enough, I probably could have picked up that treasure chest during the fight, and then I wouldn't have had to lock my shot. But again, not fast enough. I don't know why I'm like overthinking this. Quicksilver, it's a minion round. Just put it somewhere. It doesn't really matter. 7. So I have 7 Invokers. I can definitely cut one of these Invokers. Once I have time to stop fiddling with the Quicksilver, I should be thinking about that at least. Yeah, see, I'm looking at 7 Invokers. I'm like, okay, I can get rid of one of these. But I mean, Galio is definitely the worst Invoker, but he's also one of my only 3 frontline units, so. But I'm pretty close to a 3-star Lissandra, so I'm thinking, well, if I can Double Trouble Lissandra, that can be my frontline, then I can get rid of Galio instead. My items again, I'm like, a lot of bows. Okay, well, I already have healing on her, but I gotta kill some of these items. Guess I make a Gunblade. Definitely don't need Rage Blade. I don't need mana generation because I have 6 Invokers, so I'm not gonna make Rage Blade. I'm like, should I put another Gunblade on her? I'm like, nah, let's kill one of these bows. And then whatever, just put a random out. Put it on her because she's going to get 3-starred soon. At least a pretty good chance of her getting 3-starred soon. And she does get 3 stars. All my other items are going to go on her, so I don't want to put the extra rod on her. Tornado doing work in the back line. So here's one of the Kaisa Challenger players. Looks like they hit most of their board. At least they hit the Kaisa. But yeah, still pretty strong. Soraka still doing the best. 2-star Soraka without Double Trouble. Still doing work, even at stage 5 here. So don't count out the Soraka unit. I mean, I do have like a Rise and stuff on my board as well, but they're all just 1-star with no items, so they're not like making a huge difference in this fight. Oh, there we go, Double Trouble. So again, my plan was to move items from Soraka to Karma, but like, okay, well, I didn't hit any Karmas. Well, I have some Karmas, but I didn't hit enough Karmas. Here, I'm trying to figure out what's my worst unit to make double trouble. I'm like, all right, Galio, your time has come. You did it enough, but you are my worst unit. I'd rather have double trouble on this Soraka than I would have a Galio. I kind of put the other Soraka a little bit in the front line because she can like get mana from getting. Whoa! Rise 2, level 7. What are the shop odds for that? I mean, I have rolled quite a bit, but still, those odds are really low. So you could call that eye roll, I would say. I wouldn't call Soraka 3 on 5-2 a high roll, but I'll call Rise 2 a high roll. And yeah, pretty good. Again, Soraka, I mean, now she's double trouble powered and 3 stars, so now she's definitely the best damage dealer on my board. But this Rise, don't count out this Rise, man. Look how much gold I'm getting from this Rise, man. It can make a huge difference for my rerolling, all this gold I'm getting. All right, Gunblade, who does the most damage? I guess it's the second Soraka. I mean, Karma, but she already has a Gunblade, so I'm like, all right, second Soraka, you can hold this Gunblade. Rolling here, just need more upgrades. Really want to get double trouble Karma, but you know, gotta pay what you hit. I would love to upgrade the Shen, love to 3-star the Lysandra, but don't get any of that, unfortunately. Just move my units around kind of at random. I haven't been doing much scouting. I've been thinking a lot about my board on all these rounds. I haven't been doing much scouting. Again, here's the Triss player. They're kind of the strongest one in the lobby. You can see they're on a win streak. They got the repair turret up front. They got 3-star Jinx. The tornado is not affecting Jinx because she has a random Quicksilver on her, which actually ended up helping him quite a bit this round, randomly. I'm picking up my chess. Unfortunately, I should be picking my chess. I could have made interest maybe if there was 8 gold. Probably wasn't 8 gold up there, but you never know. All right. Ooh, RE2. I'm like, ooh, RE2. That could be good. What else? I'm like, oh, JG for Karma. I'm not going to move items off Soraka now that I have 3-star Soraka. So now I need another JG for my Karma. So it's like, I'm trying to debate between Ari and the JG. I'm like, I really want the JG. Someone's like the Ari anyway, so whatever. But the JG is still there, lucky for me. I didn't need any of those emblems. I'm glad I didn't have to pick those up. Bunch of chests that I'm too slow to pick up during the round. All right, well, just gonna keep rolling. I'm on level 7, donkey rolling here for any of these upgrades. Here, Rise, you can cast your tornado faster. Like, yeah, let's get the tornado. Oh, another Soraka. All right, or Karma, I mean. Don't need that. Keep rolling. Just donkey roll to 0. Oh, there's my Lysandras. I'm like, oh, what should I sell? Wait, I can't sell any of these. I need these. I need all these units on my bench. They're all part of my plan. I'm like, well, I'll probably get chests from Rise's tornado during the fight. So, one round without. I'm still 54 HP. I can go one round. This guy's got Yasuo and Gwen and Kaisa. So he's got a pretty strong board. My front line's still a little bit weak. Karma's getting attacked in the corner, but she's healing through it. And Soraka still doing work. 3-star double trouble Soraka. Pick up my Lysandra with the money from the chests. I'm like, all right, at this point, I need to level up to put in one of these double trouble copies. So I'm like, all right, sorry, Karma. I'm gonna go for a level instead. I'm gonna put this Lysandra. I really need more frontline. A second copy of Lysandra with the double trouble benefit really would help my frontline quite a bit. So rather than stay here and keep rolling for Karmas, I'm gonna go ahead and level. Plus it gives me better odds to hit the 2-star Ari. Deathblade, whatever, doesn't matter. None of my units really do attack damage. All right, now I have time to do a little scouting. Just kind of looking through. Let's see, we got there's not a lot like Zephyr. I think there's one person with a Zephyr. I think no, the unit must have died. Person must have died already. Put Ari in the middle because she mana reaves. She has like an AoE mana reave, so she's better to hit like clumps of enemies. So I've kind of put her in the middle. I don't know if that actually ended up doing anything. Yeah, I think she just mana reaved both Jarvan and Swain, and mana reaving Jarvan's a pretty big deal. So I'm glad I moved her over a little bit. This is the meta board. You got Azir, you got Lux, but yeah, not good enough to beat Soraka apparently. So I'm just econing up here. I really want to get to level 8 so I can put in the second Lysandra and then get better odds for Shen and Ari. Conveniently got a component from somewhere. I'm not sure where that component came from, but it let me make a random item here over on the other Soraka. Got my magic armor shred on both sides of the board now. Down to 3 players. One's the Azir player. One is the Tristana reroll player, I believe. Or I don't know if it's the Azir player or the Kaisa player. I'll have to see. Okay, I can level up here. Upgrade my front line. It's a pretty big deal, actually. It gives the other Lissandra quite a few stats, right? Like magic, resist, and armor. So it actually is a pretty decent upgrade. Definitely need more front line. Take the Warmogs here. Kind of just debating, does it go on Shen or the 3-star Lissandra? I'm like, well, Shen's probably a better unit. Even though I have double trouble and she's 3-star. Okay, it was the Kaisa player, so the Azir player actually is out already. So there's a Shroud. I'm like, can I avoid this Shroud? Not really. Kind of just stay where I'm at. Got my Lissandra with my double Titans up here. I think she's actually doing quite a bit of damage now. And plus I think she like gives a passive damage multiplier or something to other units. So Lissandra actually that fight did the most, surprisingly. She's now past Soraka. So again, pretty big upgrade getting to level 8 to put her on my board there. Yeah, keep rolling for my units. I don't know how I would fit double trouble karma on this board, but I still want that was my original plan to play double trouble karma. So I still kind of have that plan in mind here. Well, I'm out of gold and the game's almost over, so I may never hit that at this point. I guess I would take out the copy of Soraka and put in the copy of Karma instead if I 3-star her. I don't know. I don't want to take out more frontline, so. Here's the Tristana player, gets shrouded in the corner. Again, I can't really avoid the shroud. I have social distancing and my whole back line. Can only do so much. Tornado's doing work in the back there. Sandra's holding on. Soraka, kill the Tristana. I'm like, oh man, am I gonna lose to a Tristana reroller? I had this really fun comp. I did so well throughout the game. I'm like, I'm gonna lose to Tristana reroll, aren't I? Keep rolling. What can you do? Don't really hit anything. Oh, I got so JG. Who should get this JG? I'm like, well, looks like Lissandra. As far as people who aren't already itemized, I'm like, all right, here we go, Lissandra. Now here I put this belt on her. I'm like, game's almost over, but I'm actually at 41 HP and there's an item round coming up, so I probably should not have put that belt on her, actually, in retrospect. But whatever, I mean, the game's almost over. So this is actually an interesting round. Watch the Tristana in the upper right. So Lissandra casts, it hits Tristana somehow, and then I think Soraka casts or something. I don't know exactly what killed her, but Tristana gets popped. I'm like, oh, that's the way I can win. Somehow Lissandra plus I think Soraka have popped the backline Tristana. I'm not exactly sure how that worked, but I'm like, oh, let's do that again. That's how I can win. That's how I can win. I don't really need items. I'm just like, oh, an RE2. I'll just take that. I finally get my RE2. And I think I have an extra belt. So I didn't end up getting punished by putting that belt on Lissandra. I can make guard breaker on her. I mean, she's got a JG, so why not? Oh, nice. Shen 2. Finally, at 6-5, after rolling for days, I finally get a Shen 2. Hooray! Will he be able to get the karma? Doesn't look like it. I'm out of gold. I'm like, Last Whisper? Whatever. He gets crit chance, so I guess put it on Lissandra? I don't know. Something like, so I want to do the same thing I did last time. I'm assuming he's going to swap, so I'm going to swap my Lissandra and my Soraka, assuming that he's going to swap. So the same thing can hopefully happen to the Tristana that happened last time. That was my plan, at least. We'll see what happens. And he did swap, so perfect. So let's have the same thing happen. I'm like, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Cassandre, no! No, Lissandra didn't cast. I didn't get to do the same thing that happened last time. All right, well, let's go, boys. What can we do here? Soraka's on the Tristana. Nice. Soraka takes down Tristana. It's just a Jinx in the back over there now. But yeah, board came together. Double trouble. Lissandra did the most damage that fight. Never got the karma double troubled, but hey, it was a win and I'll take it. Good game, everyone.